Mm.
But yeah, Travis Hunter returns from a lacerated kidney in the versus the Colorado State game, and so he finally makes his return back from that situation, going up against Stanford. Colorado goes up big in halftime. Was that 29-0, I believe, something like that? 29-0. Stanford makes a comeback to win in double overtime, 46-43. My question to you, Isaac, would be, is this just a situation of Travis Hunter not having his win and, being in shape, missing 2 games and then coming back? Because he got torched on the defensive end. Early on in the game, there was not much targeting towards his direction, but after a while, once they realized, oh, we can actually go with this dude, the Travis Hunter being a primary defender on Ayomanor for Stanford, who ended up ending the game with 13 catches for 294 yards and 3 touchdowns. Travis Hunter being a primary defender on him. The question is this just a matter of Travis Hunter being overexerted after missing a lot of time? Or does there need to be a conversation to say, hey, does Travis Hunter have to eventually pick a side on which way he wants to go for his football career, that either being at corner or that being on at the wide receiver position?
I think he went up against somebody that may be him as well. Because that Stanford receiver, and I just found out that I think the guy's from Canada, which haunts me because I'm trying to keep that USA and other nations gap athletically as wide and broad as possible.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm American through and through. We got the same mindset. Screw us, whatever. But I think it's a situation to where you run up into a guy who's really good as well. And I think the fact that coaches are really smart, right? This is this guy's first game back in almost a month. He's playing both ways, which is already extremely tiring. We are going to go at him relentlessly and make him play. No plays off. We are going to target our best guys since you're on them all the time. And we are going to make you work. And it seems as though that plan, may have worked in the end. Like you said, the receiver was able to go for 13, 300, and 3 touchdowns. Sounds like a career day to me. I don't care who against you. But I think it's a situation to where maybe it's just a perfect storm. Maybe I think it's a situation where I don't know if you play both ways in the league. I think you'll have to play one way. I think it was cool for him to display the fact that he can. He was drafted as an elite corner, or not drafted rather, but recruited as an elite corner, but also a playmaker at the wide receiver position. It may come a situation to where he has to pick. If I were him, I think right now receivers are making a little more than corners, but depending on if you that guy or not, it's a great market for both positions, right? So,
no, all of his stats were after halftime.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's something to be said. I think he's tired, right? Because like you said, they weren't doing anything. 29 that's literally crazy.
13 catches, 294 receiving yards with 3 tutties, all after halftime.
That's literally crazy.
Did Colorado have some unders on themselves on the game, on the money line? That's crazy. I don't know, man. I think it's a very unique situation. I think Colorado's defense is just shaky at best anyway. And I think
that may be an insult to the word shaky.
I know. I'm just saying, Coach Prime has been saying it all year, right? We are not where we want to be as far as our front seven. Our guys in the trenches, O line and D line. And if you look, man, yeah, the guy went for 13 and 300, but you got to be able to run the ball out of that too. And you can just see their defense just constantly just letting go of the rope every single
Mm-hmm.
time. They don't have playmakers on the defensive side of the ball that consistently can be stout and make offensives either one climb the whole field, right, with good field position. The bend but don't break mentality. They don't have any of that. They don't have the athletes to fortify that defense right now. And what you see is if the offense can't win it, they probably not gonna win the game, man, because the defense ain't gonna be able to hold people to as you can see, a reasonable amount. They had to win in the shootout versus TCU. We just found out TCU ain't really that good, right?
Yeah.
As far as relatively speaking, for other, top, teams in the land. But
Something else that I think should be taken into notice is as bad as people wanted or anticipated Colorado to be, they are not getting that in the totality of the team, but we are seeing that they are bad on defense. And them being bad on defense, you could try to accredit that to coaching or not having the personnel, but that's just a growing pain of having this team. One, this being your first year, and two, Coach Prime still needing more time to cultivate that defense and get in the right players. With how great the offense is, in a perfect world, the defense would be just as complementary to the offense. But I think these lapses that we're seeing on the defensive end, to a degree, you get spotted 29 points. Your defense isn't supposed to give up 46 points in the second half of a game with double overtime. Your defense not supposed to do that at any level, no matter who they are, right? But what we are witnessing with seeing these defensive collapses is just the growing pains of we're seeing the growing pains in real time that Deion needs to fix this immediately, right? They don't get to go behind the curtains and fix this in the off season. We're seeing this every Saturday live that this defense ain't up to par. And unfortunately, it's just a growing pain that is costing Colorado State wins right now. And it'll just take some time. Now, if next year this
Didn't we
doesn't
expect this though? I'm sorry, didn't we expect this?
No. I think that's why I said in the beginning, people expected them to be bad, but they're only seeing the bad that they were anticipating on the defensive side. I think if the offense wasn't that good and the defense wasn't that good, we would just say, we told y'all weren't gonna be able to just run through everybody. But that's not the case. The offense is exceptional, right? Minus they don't really have a strong running game. But for them to for their Achilles to only be defense, it's just like, well,
right.
At some point, y'all, y'all as the head coach from Oregon said, at some point, y'all Cinderella run had to run out, and now we're seeing, okay, this is where they are weak at. This is where them switching in and bringing in a whole new regime of players. And through the transfer portal, this is where we're seeing them have to take a hit for that because they don't have their defense down packed to where they would like for it to be.
Right, they don't got no.
Right. If it doesn't drastically change next year, a high cause of concern, and however much longer Deion is going to be there, if it doesn't change, then I think we need to start looking at the coaching and be like, yo, what are y'all doing?